Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone who's come in from the Discord stage. Everyone who's dropping all the emotes already. We haven't even started. Um, I'm Fran, in case you haven't seen me in person and you've just heard my lovely voice. I'm the community manager here at GGWP Academy, and today we have the illustrious, the wonderful, the awesome iamBrandon over here.
Hi. Hi.
Um,
How's it going?
he is awesome. So today's AMA, I'm so excited. It's like a quick intro to Brandon because, as you may know, he's the newest instructor in our education and training videos. And one of the things that we really wanted to, I guess, dive into and learn more about with Brandon is, what's his journey been like? How has he grown to where he's at? Because I think you're sitting, what, 40K, or is it over now? How much has it
At,
increased since we started
on
promoting
Twitch,
this?
no, on Twitch, I think it's 4,500. But Twitter has like, I'm like on the
Yeah.
same on Twitter too, so it's kind of wild that they're both the same kind of
Ugh.
number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So
Yeah.
I will in like 1 minute or like a couple sentences, introduce yourself for anyone who may not be familiar with you.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Brandon. I go by I am Brandon on the internet. So I started content creation 9 years ago in 2012 when I started a website for gaming news and reviews, and that's kind of how I got into streaming on Twitch. And so from there, I kind of like really wanted to take it a step further and try to make it like do it as a profession. And so I kind of like got into social media and started like kind of talking about some of the issues that I saw were issues in the
Mhm.
gaming space, which a lot of people kind of gravitated towards. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then like I was able to start a career in the gaming industry by working for XSplit as the U.S. community manager. That's like my first gaming job, so that was great. And since then, I've like worked in the gaming industry for 5 years and just like going through different companies and learning the processes of like working in games, like learning how they're made and also the marketing part of it. And now I'm working for a charity company called Soft Giving. So now I work with streamers to do charity streams. So that's a really cool part of what I do now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Even just
Yeah.
that part of your journey going from the creation side into the, I guess, professional side of the industry is also really
Hmm.
cool. I may ask about that later if we have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. It's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah.
I also want to make sure we have time for anyone in chat who wants to ask questions. Chat, if you have questions, drop them in chat. I will scroll back up, look for it, and ask Brandon later.
Hmm.
But what I really want to start with, that's I think I'm the most curious about is why did you actually start streaming?
Okay. So yeah, it actually started because of the website that I started.
Yeah.
So Twitch was like one of the social media platforms that we had on the website, but I had no idea what Twitch was. I just was like,
Ah,
okay, let's get Twitter, Facebook, everything. And so one of the people who was working with me, who also now works with me on like the content creation side, which is wild. He like got the Twitch account for that, and he actually was a person who started streaming on the channel, just like because at first like let's try to market our website using Twitch. And I he eventually started his own channel, and decided to take it over because I was just like, someone has to be streaming on this because we have followers, so we have to stream on this channel. And then I slowly but surely learned that you can't market a website like that, like in that kind of way, a gaming website through
yeah.
Twitch in that kind of way, as we were trying to do it. So I was just like, let me actually like do like be myself. And I really found a really cool. Oh, I just got a little cool community of people who just like gravitated towards me and my personality, and it was just really cool to see like people understand me for the first time because like
Yeah.
I'm kind of quirky and weird sometimes, and so it was really nice to have people who understood my sense of humor, and then also like the games that I played because I was a big Resident Evil fan. So as you can see,
Yeah.
they have like Chris Redfield in the background. So like I played those games a lot, so I was able to meet people throughout that kind of way. But that's kind of how I got started. And as soon as I started streaming, I got addicted to it, and here we are, 7 years later, still doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it kind of just happened and it sounded like you had a little bit of a Gordon Ramsay moment. It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yo, exactly, exactly. Like,
what
what
the
is
F
Twitch? What is
is
that? I have no idea.
I love how Fid's in the chat. I don't know if have you met Fid?
Oh yeah, yeah, we know each other. Yeah.
He's just like Resident Evil. He's here for the Resident Evil life. Yeah, that's an amazing story. So does that mean that you would have, I guess, made your own channel because you couldn't stay on the website's Twitch channel and then
That's actually a funny story. So actually, Technically, my channel originally was like the website's channel, and I was going by that name of my website. It weirdly turned into like I became like the website name, so everybody just called me UGR Gaming, which no one knew what that like what that meant.
Yeah.
So about 3 years ago, I decided, you know what, let me change my username because it just I didn't like it, and so one day I just decided, you know what, let me look into all the social medias, making sure this name that I came up with is like available. Luckily, it was on Twitch and everything, and on Twitter and stuff like that, and so I decided to change it, and ever since then, like it's stuck, and I love it. So you know,
Mm.
what I mean, I can go
Yeah.
by my own name, so it's just easier than having to explain. Oh, my username is 774325X. You know what I mean? And people are like, what does that mean?
Yeah. I think only a few people have managed to actually run with that kind of like letters and
Yeah.
number situation. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
esports people can do that really well because
Oh
it's
yeah, for
usually
sure.
some kind of it's relevant to whatever they're playing. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I so that means you've held on to the I am Brandon branding now for how many
Yeah.
years?
Well, it has to be 4 years at this
Oh
point.
wow.
So it seems like it was like so long ago because I remember I was like nervous to change it because then like of course like changing your name, then you get a bunch of people who come to the channel like I don't remember following this name. They're like, oh, it's you. You just changed
Yeah.
your name. So but like luckily I don't get too many people who come in and say like, oh, what happened to UGR Gaming anymore? But we have like a command in my channel. If anybody writes it, then it pops up like the little things like I don't know who that is. Who's UGR Gaming?
Oh, that's a really
Um,
cool command. Just it's like a
yeah,
mini
yeah,
origin
just in case.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just pops up like the tweet that I made about it. But I would say one of the things that I wish the one of the things I hate is that like I did so much under that name, so I have all these things that like I have like this sign that Twitch made me like 1 year, and it has my old name on it, so I can't ever put it out. But it's a little bit of history, so it's just like sitting in the closet. I look at it every once in a while.
Oh
It's
wow.
just like you did something good.
No, but I love those kinds of origin stories where like
Hmm.
it's usually not conventional. And
Yeah.
it without even if it's a long time ago, it's a few years ago now, it still plays into where you've gotten to now. It's part
Hmm.
of your story, and I
Yeah.
love that. And thank you for sharing that, especially the sign.
Yeah, of
Now that we know
course.
it exists.
Now you know. Now it's right over there if I can pull it out.
uh no, but we'll just keep it secret, keep the
Yeah,
mystery,
yeah.
and then just everyone will be like, does it or does it not exist? Oh gosh. Alrighty. So I will admit, because I'm one of those nerds who goes
Mhm.
through looks through people's channels, looks through like
Oh,
Twitch
yeah.
tracker and like a few things,
Mhm.
and I did have a
Yeah.
quick like squiz at
Yeah,
what
yeah.
your growth has looked like. But
Yeah, yeah.
um since 2016, I've just looking at your watch hours, they've just gone whoosh.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really curious to know, especially over like I dare say the pandemic. Um,
Mhm.
do you have any strategies or anything that you did during like that really big growth period during
Yeah,
2021 that
yeah.
had those watch hours just going nuts?
Yeah, like I was streaming a lot during that time period because I was like always at home. So I just figured, you know what, let me try to stream when I can. Like I need to get back on a consistent streaming schedule right now. It's just like with work and stuff like that. Like I'm
Mm,
in work meetings all the time, so I need that time. But like yeah, during like when we like everything was closed, I had nowhere to go. So
yeah,
it was like, you know what, let me stream on Twitch, and so I was doing a lot of that, and then I hit my highest like sub count. Was it last year? I think it was last year. No, it
wow,
was 2020, but
yeah,
it was like yeah, my highest sub count ever. And so I was seeing a lot of like new viewers coming in and like people discovering me from that, and then like just like being a part of like just like during the pandemic, I would say I got a lot more brand activations happening during like the
yeah,
last 2 years. So it's been really wild to see. Like I work for Cartoon Network, Nike, uh, just like
yeah.
Oculus. And I remember I like it because I ended up doing an Oculus stream literally in my bedroom, and they sent me this whole big setup where like they're launching the what was it, Oculus Quest 2. And so like they sent me this whole big setup. It was like in my like apartment in my little bedroom, and I was like showcasing it. People came, like I had a friend come over and he was like, what is going on in here? I was just like, just working, just doing some stuff for work for the Oculus, and yeah, but definitely like during the pandemic, it was, or I mean, still going on, but when it was like in the rise of it, I definitely saw a lot more people like coming in, and then a lot more brands were paying attention to Twitch a lot more. So
Mm,
then, more people were reaching out to me, which was really cool to see. And then like being able to be like, being open to all these new opportunities was great.
yeah.
So yeah.
Quick follow-up question.
hmm
How much do you think the pandemic actually contributed to the whole situation overall, at least 2020 going into 2021?
I think it definitely no, it definitely was like it's weird to say like it was a good thing, but more people were paying attention to Twitch for sure. Because I had people who known for years who like whenever they have seen like posts on Facebook and stuff about me and Twitch, they had no idea what I was talking about. But then they started streaming and started to see what I was actually doing and realizing it wasn't as easy as they thought it was.
Uh,
But it definitely contributed to like more growth, and then like just like I said, like more companies paying attention to the actual Twitch platform and seeing how streamers could, work with them and do marketing activations. Yeah.
mm. Out of curiosity, and I didn't have this on our list of questions to go through.
Yeah.
Do you find or have you found that like the variety of I guess even audience members and brands has
Mhm.
expanded as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, okay, let me take a look at this. Like, I definitely was very shocked when Cartoon Network reached out to me, which
Yeah.
that was something different. And then another one was like Butterfinger. I did some stuff with them for like Halo that they did.
Uh,
And then Trolley Candy was definitely something different. Like I did this whole campaign for them for like some of their different candies that they have. And then another one that I was like kind of shocked by too was I did a chess tournament like activation with Hennessy.
oh
So like
wow.
they reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, would you be interested in like, playing chess?" And I was like, "I've never played it before, but you know what? That sounds cool." So we definitely saw, well, I know a lot of streamers have definitely seen a lot of they have seen like non-traditional brands like step
Mm,
into the streaming space because like, like I said, streaming is becoming popular, and that was a lot of people's entertainment and newly found way of watching things online too.
yeah. I was gonna say Hennessy and chess.
Yes,
I
yeah, it was, and I got to play. Well, I didn't get to play with, but like I was in the same call with the Wu-Tang Clan, so they were a part of that too. So it was like this big, yeah, this
oh,
whole big thing.
ooh.
I ended up
You missed a
losing
very
though.
important part of that story
Yeah, I sorry.
between
Yeah,
Hennessy and chess and Wu-Tang.
yeah, yeah. Wu-Tang Clan was in this chess tournament that I was in for Hennessy. I was in the call with them, but I lost before I could actually play one of them in chess.
Oh,
But it was really cool to even experience it because I knew like I was like I'm not good at chess. I'm trying my best here, and I'm willing to learn. Which I took a few
yeah.
lessons, but it was a good experience either way. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say chess had a weird revival. I
yeah,
think one because of the pandemic, but in combination with the fact
hmm
that the Netflix show Queen's Gambit came out.
yeah, that
Um,
too. hmm
there was a huge uptick, not just in people buying chess sets, but I think the chess category or the chess game
hmm
section of Twitch also blew up
Oh
at the same
yeah.
time. So I guess they were
hmm
trying to get involved or get in on that trend at the time. Um,
Yeah.
wow. Now that you mentioned Wu Tang Clan, the fact that it's chess and Hennessy makes so much
Yeah.
sense now. Um, yeah, it's I don't know why I find Wu Tang a bit more like they're very much intellectuals in my mind. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
that
like the chess part makes sense. Yeah.
yes, yes. I did you enjoy yourself? Was it fun?
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was fun. After I lost, I was kind of like, "Oh, that sucks." But I ended up watching the whole thing. I was just like, "Dang, if I would have got like a little bit further, I would have been able to play one of them." But it was a really cool experience, and they were like they sent me like this really cool package of stuff, and I
Mm,
still have it like to this day. But it was really cool. And like they were trying to showcase that like anybody could pick up chess and just like pick it up for a newbie or a veteran. It's all that good stuff.
yeah, I love that because technically it's still a game. It's just
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
video games, the usual things that we're used
hmm
to. Yeah. So uh, non-endemics. I'm just gonna uh define the term for anybody that's tuned into the live stream.
hmm
Non-endemics is used in the industry to describe companies or brands that aren't usually involved in the gaming industry. So an endemic brand would be like Xbox, and non-endemic would be Hennessy. So
Yeah,
ones that you don't
yeah.
usually associate. But the amount of non-endemics, like Candy and I
hmm
guess a TV network, like I don't know, is that on
Yeah.
cable? Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
it's
on cable,
cartoon, yeah,
anyways.
cartoon, yeah,
Yeah.
cable, yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that's that's a really wide range. Because I know,
Mhm.
for example, a lot of the usual people who are in the gaming industry, I think they kept on going, which was great because they were
Yeah.
kind of already
Mhm.
used to working like this. So
Yeah, yeah.
telecommunication, whatever. Um,
Mhm.
but the pandemic, yes, awful, agreed.
Mhm.
But it's exciting to see how many people kind of just um grew up in on Twitch like you have, but also,
Mhm.
I think I want to go back to one of the earlier points you made about the original reason why you found streaming so good was like finding your people, finding people to
Yeah.
relate to. I think that that impact is still there, and people were finding that last year. Um,
Mhm.
have you observed the same thing of, I guess, outside of yourself, the same, I guess, growth overall in the platform and other creators coming into the scene? Have you found that
Mhm.
to be the case as well from your
Um
observations?
Yeah, well, like me personally, like finding other
Yeah.
people, like just in, yeah, I mean, I definitely have like found friends and made friendships through Twitch, which have been great. I think a lot of it has been just being able to meet when I meet people in person, like say like how in the past TwitchCon, like that was great. And then also like I have met a lot of people who live locally here who stream on Twitch as well. So that's been such a like a really cool experience because there's been people who I only knew from Twitch, but then like I met them in person. They like literally are like my neighbors now. So it's been really cool to like connect with them and see them outside of that. And then I've been able to share some of my knowledge with some of these people too as well, and being able to be like, hey, like you should try this out. Or like I had a friend who I had some equipment that I didn't use anymore, so I was like I sent it to them so they could use it. They're doing great with it. So
Mm,
yeah, I definitely have found my people like on this platform. Definitely, I've made some really great friends just in general, and that's one thing I do really love about like doing all of this is just being able to connect with people who I never would have before. Like one of my moderators who like has, I mean, we talked about this the other week. Like he's been around since I started. So
yeah.
like we actually first met at TwitchCon like a few years ago, and it was just like I saw him and I started crying. I was like, oh my god, we've been talking for like 4 or 5 years. And then like I went to New York recently and I saw him while I was there, and it was just like cool to see the connections that I've made like on this platform, being able to do them in real life. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I have found my people, and it's like I keep finding more people who
yeah.
I have like who have the same interests as me as well. So I'm always open to making new friends, on the platform, and like it's always really cool also to see streamers who I know their potential and like where they can go, and then
Yeah.
seeing them rise and continue to grow has been great. Like I have a few friends who are like that, just because I've seen them when they start, and I'm just like, yeah, this person's gonna blow up, this person's gonna do good,
Yeah.
and they do their thing and they start doing really great stuff, and it's just really cool to watch from like I guess
Mm.
behind the scenes, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great to have that much support, especially with people who are local. I guess
Hmm.
when there weren't a lot of people who were familiar with Twitch or less people on the platform or even watching it, like it's not like you could walk around and be like, "Hi, I'm a streamer."
Yeah, exactly.
Or do you still run
Exactly.
into a lot of people who are like, "What do you do?"
Um, I mean, I still do. I still sometimes have to explain what I do. So because they're not obviously not everybody knows what Twitch is, but it's not as like weird anymore as
Yeah.
compared to a few years ago. Because a few years ago, people were like, "You do what? Like, what is that? Like, you play video games on the internet? That's weird." Blah, blah, blah. But like, yeah, definitely, it's more accepted now because people know what Twitch is. But like, there's always that once in a while that someone's like, "What is it?" And I had to explain to them. They're like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Like, I would love to do
Yeah.
that." I think it's more of like the things that I get to do because of it. That's how people understand it more. Because
Mm,
like a lot of my friends are like, "I watched your story. You're doing this. That's cool." I was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully when they see this they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Totally."
yeah, exactly."
Uh have okay, this is a very very segue sideways kind
Yeah.
of question, but
Hmm.
I must satisfy my curiosity. What's the
Yeah.
weirdest explanation you've given to someone for explaining what you do? Like, do you give them a have
Uh,
you given like a weird analogy or like tried to use another
I
example to explain it?
um. I definitely well, I've made the joke of like, oh, it's not like I'm not doing any adult entertainment in my house. So that's not what's happening. I don't do that. I don't judge anybody who does, but that's not what's happening. But I definitely have explained like I don't know, the easiest way I've tried to explain it to people who are just like, "This is weird." I'm like, "Well, have you watched sports before?" And they're like, "Yes." And I was like, "Well, basically, it's kind of like the same thing. Like you're watching sports, but you're not playing it, but you're enjoying the content that is happening on the screen. So basically, it's like I am like, entertaining people, and people are watching, and they're having a good time. So it's basically like the same thing, but like a little bit different. That they actually get to interact with me compared
Mm,
to you're watching football and you can't really do anything besides screen at the TV. So."
yeah. I mean, I guess people could still scream at your stream.
Oh, that probably could happen too. That's very true. I just don't
Yeah.
see it.
You don't hear it, but it's
I don't
happening.
hear it, and yeah, but it could be happening. I would not be shocked,
Uh,
especially like the people who are like really very into a game, and I might be messing up and not know where I'm going. So that could be happening.
don't go into the yeah.
Yeah.
We love there's always going to be that one backseat
Hmm.
gamer in the
Oh yeah, we love to see them for sure.
oh gosh. Alrighty. Um, I have a very important question, and
Yeah.
so just to confirm, in total, that means you've been on Twitch now for at least 5 years. 5 years.
7 years. Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a very very long time to be on the
Yeah.
platform, and I think again this is mainly catering to the people who may have only just started or only just heard
Yeah.
about Twitch
Yeah.
last year and are just starting. But
Hmm.
I guess from there's two parts to this. One is how do you keep the content going over that length
Mm.
of time?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
do you ever find that like you're either getting bored or your audience is getting bored, or
Yeah.
do you feel like you're like how have you handled like that kind of long-term view for
Yeah.
what kind of content you're making or what kind of streams you're
Mhm.
doing?
I think for me, like changing up stuff on stream has definitely helped me to keep things fresh. Like it sounds very simple, but seeing the same thing all the time kind of gets kind of boring. So like every like few months, like I'll do an update to my graphics and stuff like that. Like I have this graphics designer who I work with. We actually just re-updated my all my scenes and my graphics on my channel right now. And then like I I tend to play just anything I want to at this point.
Mm,
I'm lucky to say that I have a community who's like willing to watch, and they're not like, "Oh, you're not playing this game. I'm not gonna watch." But like playing different games has kept it really fresh for me. I got really into indie horror games last year,
yeah.
so it was like something that I was enjoying some of the games that I was playing, but then also like I didn't want to have a heart attack on stream because I was playing all these games that are
Yeah.
very scary all the time. But definitely, I would say just watching other streamers and getting inspiration from them has been very helpful. And I think something for me that has helped me to keep going and like keeping like fresh and stuff like that is diversifying my content amongst like social platforms and not only focusing on Twitch.
Mm,
I think that is one of the biggest problems I have learned was because like in the first like 5 or so years of Twitch that I was doing, I was only focusing on Twitch. Like I had
yeah.
like Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, but I wasn't really like focusing on that. I was mainly focusing on Twitch.
Mm,
So like about 2 years ago, I decided to start like making more content for YouTube and like I was using VODs that I had that I was like, you know what, this is a really good stream. Like I'm playing this story based game. I think this would be really cool to edit this down and put this on YouTube. So I've been working on like kind of rebranding my YouTube channel and like I don't have like a bunch of views on it, but like
yeah.
also but I want to just have that content there. And I've learned even with like the small kind of like following I have on YouTube, there are people who literally are waiting for like those videos to drop, and they will only watch my videos. They
Oh,
won't watch my stream, but they love the YouTube videos. So
yeah.
there's this one person who like like is always commenting like, oh my god, I can't wait for this video to come out. So I continue making these videos just so people who only usually watch YouTube can still enjoy my content in whatever way that is. And it's really cool because it's like it gives them a different experience of what the Twitch
Yeah.
audience could get, because obviously it's edited down, but it's also like it adds like extra impact, which I do like
Mm,
the YouTube portion of that. It may be a live stream over here, but then like when it goes on YouTube, it's just like adding in those little quirky things like makes it really that much more fun to watch.
yeah. Because it's
Hmm.
curated and
Yeah, yeah.
it is a different audience for sure.
Hmm.
Um, out of curiosity, how often then do you end up, I guess, publishing to YouTube? Is it is the schedule quite different to your stream
Yeah.
schedule, or
Yeah, so for YouTube, I'm trying to do like It depends on the content I have, because
Yes.
like I usually do it by like VODs that I have. Like so if I do a story-based game that's like, pretty long, we try to separate those out into different episodes so people can do that.
Mm,
And then but like in general, I also like to try to add in like educational videos like about like content creation and stuff like that. So we usually try to do it like at least 3 times a week.
yeah.
Like if it's a gameplay video, we try to stretch it out for 3 days a week. And then if it's just like those educational videos. I like to do those like once a month, just so like we
Mm,
can just like get those in there too, because the educational videos people like those, so I like to put
yes.
those in there too,
Yeah,
just
we
to
know.
like keep them going. Yeah, so those ones are out there, and then yeah, just try to keep a consistent schedule with that so people know what's coming. Um, there was an issue with my editor was like they got sick, so like they couldn't like put up a video fast enough, so that kind of dropped a little bit, but we're getting back into it, so I'm really happy to see like the content that's out there right now that's been going out there. So slowly but surely, we're putting that content on YouTube, and like I'm not in any rush to try to like become a YouTuber, but it's just
Mm,
having that content on a different platform is good. Which I wish I learned that earlier on.
yeah.
I think if I would have been posting on YouTube a lot more, I would probably have like more of a following on there too. But you know what? You that's what everything about streaming is good, that you always are learning something.
Mm.
You never stop learning.
Yeah, I think that's like super relatable because I think a lot of people probably have, and actually people have told me like, have I missed
Hmm.
the boat? Have I not started
Hmm.
early enough? Have I not done this
Yeah.
early enough? And I think it's really cool to hear from you like you had this long on Twitch and then you
Hmm.
did diversify and, they're like your Instagram is excellent. Like and
Ah,
it is very different
thank you.
content as well. So,
Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, that's the other thing too. I've tried to curate like everything like as different stuff. So it's like if you're following me on Instagram, it's something different. If you're following me on TikTok, it's something different. If you're following me on YouTube, it's something different. That's why I try to like emphasize to people like, hey, like I'm not posting the same content on every single platform. Like every single thing is different. Like
Mm.
for Instagram, that one was very hard, I'll say, because like I was like for a long time I was like under like 10K for like quite a few years. I was trying to get over that,
Yeah.
and so like the discoverability in on Instagram is very hard. But at one point I was able to like I started using Reels on
Yes.
Instagram, and so like that's why I tell people all the time like, hey, like if you're making TikToks, you should be posting this on Instagram too. Also like with YouTube Shorts, that's another place you could be posting those. But once I started putting the reels out on Instagram, I started to see growth from that. And then when I got really close to 10K, I was like, okay, we need to keep going. We're almost there. We're almost there. So now we surpassed 10K, which is great. And so,
Yay!
I'm very happy about that. Like it was a goal I had for like 3 or 4 years to try to hit that hump. And once we got past that, I was just like, thank God, okay, we did that. So now we could just keep going. I don't care about the number on Instagram anymore.
Yeah. Actually, that segues into the second part of this question that I
Oh,
really
okay,
wanted to
cool.
ask you about, which is given how long you've been a creator
Hmm.
for now, what's been your main strategies about maintaining motivation for
Hmm.
yourself?
Oh, like just on social or just like,
Whether it's social or streams
mhm.
or just like what's keeping you from just suddenly stopping from being a content creator right now and switching over to a new career? Like what keeps you go? What's been keeping you going?
Because I don't think I could do anything else. Like I literally like I have thought about that a few times. I was like, what would I be doing if I just like quit doing this? And I don't think I'd be doing anything else. Because like I love what I do. Like, and one of the main things is what I want to do is like be a host on like a gaming show or something
Yeah.
like that. That's like been the main thing for me. So I've been working on it slowly but surely, which has been cool. So yeah, I the motivation is that like I don't have anything else but this. So like, I just want to keep going as far as I can and just like grow in general. My biggest thing is to grow as much as I can, because I feel like when I was trying to start out in this whole industry, I didn't have anyone who looked like me, who
Mm,
identified as me, in the gaming space that I could look up to. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I can, and then if I could be that inspiration to somebody else, like let me do that. So I don't know. I literally would not know what I would do, because like what I was doing before this was I was working in retail. So I wouldn't want to go
ah,
back to that. But no, I feel like I will always be a part of like the gaming space in whatever fashion that is. Like if I'm not a streamer, I'll probably be working behind the scenes, doing stuff like working for a brand, because like that's one of the reasons why I started working for That's one of the reasons why I started working for a gaming company because I knew like, hey, I can't
Yeah.
depend on streaming to work forever, and so I don't want to wait to the last minute where that's not a possibility. So I wanted to start off early, and so once I got my start, I was just like, you know what, I have a plan B just in case, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's always something to be said. Like, I think we can definitely call streaming a career now. It's not a very
Oh
well
yeah,
known
for sure.
career, but
Hmm.
like other careers, backup plans aren't far fetched. So,
Yeah, yeah.
like, I have the same thing. I wanted to go do something completely different when I was younger, but I am not in that
Hmm.
space. But I still have five other backups in my sleeve just in case I
Yeah,
change my mind.
just in case. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I guess outside of switching careers,
Mhm.
in moments of low motivation throughout the years, which because they just happen, either you
Oh
have a bad
yeah, yeah.
day or something bad happen.
Hmm.
Do you
Oh, that
is
happened
it
last week.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, like, is it
Yeah.
the still the same kind of growth motivation that's going through your head that you're using to kind of pick yourself back up?
Yeah, okay, so this is a wild story, but, so this literally happened last week where I was questioning, you know what, am I should I, why am I still doing this or like is this worth doing this? Because I was dealing with a lot of negativity online like last week. And so to kind of preference this whole story, so last year if you follow me on Twitter, I'm kind of like a jokester sometimes. I kind of just like say just stuff. So I ended up tweeting at Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, was like, "Hey, I want to be your friend. Let's be friends." And so he ended up following me on Twitter, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." So like, I didn't say anything after. I think I just said like, thanks for following. And I didn't and that was it.
Yeah.
And so when I was at the Game Awards last year, or geez, that's wild. The Game Awards that just passed,
Yeah, the very
Phil
most recent one.
yeah, the most when I was there, and then Phil Spencer was there, and I got to meet him. I said hi. We took a picture together, and that was it. And so, like probably a week later, Phil Spencer like sent me this message on Twitter. It just was like, I just want to say, I really appreciate your voice in this community, and this and that, blah blah blah. Just like saying all these really nice things to me, and being like, your voice is important. So like, whenever you're feeling like you don't feel you're good, you are. And so last week when I was feeling down, he sent me another message last week and like emphasizing the same thing and basically being like, I know that you're dealing with a lot of stuff, but just remember that you're an important voice in this community. So like, you'll get through this. And that has been, I would say, the biggest motivation for me to be like, I any day that I feel bad, I look at that message. I was just like, this man like doesn't need to talk to me. Doesn't need to even
Yeah.
have any sort of conversation with me. But him going out of his way and saying that kind of stuff, I feel like I'm in the right place to even for him to notice, which is wild.
Mm.
So it's that is one motivation thing that keeps me like when I'm feeling down. It's like what, someone is hearing what I'm saying, so and gets my message. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I assume there's been like other smaller versions of that from your community
Oh
over the
yeah,
years as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, oh
Just
yeah, for sure.
Is
That
this
that
like the
was just the
biggest
one that was
version of
like
it?
wow, okay, Phil. Hey, love working with you. That's good. I mean, yeah.
Hey. Oh, that's an amazing story. That's just
Yeah.
last week.
That was last week. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, the reason why I want to bring this up because I think just burnout is just
Yeah.
so real.
Mhm.
And I think, you know, as much as I like try to motivate and encourage people, at least in our community at GWP, to like keep up the hustle, keep up the good work. Like,
Yeah.
um, it you can't really fight burnout by going harder. So
Exactly, exactly. And I've definitely have
yeah.
had a lot of periods of like burnout and stuff like that in general where like definitely a few years ago I was like, you know what, I don't know if I want to stream anymore. Because I was just like I was in a headspace. I was also around people who were not supporting what I was doing as well. So that definitely was not helpful. So I definitely took some time to take a break and not stream and also like find stuff outside of streaming that I could do because I was so like plugged in that I wasn't realizing how much of life I was missing out on.
Mm,
So definitely like in the last years or so, I've been able to get a life outside of streaming,
yeah.
but also it also still create content in a way that I wanted to. So like for example, like I started to learn how to DJ last year, and
Ooh.
I've been able to like create music and experiences and be being able to play it in front of people has been so cool. And I actually was streaming. I actually started streaming it on Twitch, which was kind of like how I was like
Yeah.
feeling confident enough to play in front of people. But like doing stuff like that has been very helpful for not burning out so fast. But I always tell people like if you are feeling tired, don't stream. If you're feeling sick, don't stream. If you are just not feeling it, don't stream. And I did not listen to my own advice last week because
No.
I last week yeah, the day that like I was feeling all the negativity, I was like I don't think I should stream today, and I tried to, and I was just like, you know what, I can't. And I like streamed for an hour and I just got off. But like that, like I should have listened to my own advice. But
Mm,
yeah, burnout is very real. Yeah, like it's I know the grind is very hard. Sometimes it's just like making sure that you're always on something, but it's very important to take those times to like take a mental health break or just like take a break,
yeah.
get away from the computer if you need to. But like, once you get that time, feel free to go right back into it. Cause like I'm always creating content. Like every day I'm posting something. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be on Twitter or like Instagram. You'll probably see something from me every single day besides the weekend.
Yeah. Unless you've scheduled something, in which case.
Oh, I should start doing that though. That's a good see, I should start doing that.
We're also learning. I think that's the thing that I
See?
really want to
See?
just share as a takeaway here. Is just like you've been
Mhm.
at this for 7 years, but there's still areas to improve. There's still things to improve on
Exactly.
as like a person as well, and how you take care
Mhm.
of yourself. And I think
Mhm.
for everybody who's tuned in right now, who's in chat, like even if you only just started, like this still happens to like
Yeah.
streamers who've been at this for a while. Like it's
Yeah.
I think we just need to normalize that and just accept it more and
Exactly.
move forward.
Mhm. Yeah.
PSA over.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Alrighty. I'm gonna segue slightly out. Well, it's not that much of a segue, but I
Mhm.
want to talk really briefly about I guess the new stuff that you're the instructor for on the
Yes.
GWT
Yeah.
apps, I should say. And so it's I'm just gonna give everyone an overview. They're part of I guess the pro offering that we have.
Mhm.
There are different subscription tiers, but this is what we're calling like intermediate to advanced content. And we've loved being able to work with you and get some of your insights and your knowledge and putting them into
Yeah.
these like really super curated pieces of content. For those of
Mhm.
you who aren't familiar with it on the stream, some of them go into things like growth, they go into
Mhm.
networking, other pieces like that. We have one on accounting now that
Yeah. Oh, okay,
dropped.
there you go.
Yeah, that one's with an actual
Yeah.
accountant
Oh, that's
because we've had
perfect.
a lot
Yeah.
of people asking about important accounting things. Um,
Mhm.
Out of curiosity, in the whole, I guess, filming and production stages of making these new modules, is there
Mhm.
one that you, I guess, favor more or one that you would
Yes.
recommend the most to people to have a look
Ah,
at?
My well, definitely the social media ones I think are very important. My favorite one was the networking at events one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of events happening now, but like it was just being able to talk about just networking in general. I think you could still do that virtually too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of events that are going on like virtually online. Like I know there just like in general, like for example, there's like a gaming industry like virtual like networking event that happens like once a
Mm,
month. So like that, the module for networking, I think is good for anybody just because so you know how to do like networking in general
yeah.
with people at events and then figuring out how to follow up with them afterwards. Because like I've been in those situations
Yeah.
where I've been at events with people and then having to take a business card and making sure I'm following up and doing all that kind of stuff. So that one was my favorite one because
Mm.
I would say I'm a good networker when it comes to that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
nice. I love the self plugs. This makes me happy. Because I think some people are going through like the videos in order. Everyone's doing the working with brands one at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
I think they're
That one's good
eventually going to
too.
get into the networking one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I think that there it's interesting to say I think these modules are also a little bit longer than the starter
Mhm.
ones, and I feel like the
Yeah.
deep dives into different sections are really good.
Mhm.
I'm glad you shared that one for as your favorite because I feel like it's
Mhm.
really applicable like outside of our space, outside of our
Mhm.
industry. Like it's like
Mhm.
a life skill. So thank you for
Exactly.
covering that.
Yeah.
Uh and in chat, apparently people have already started watching the accounting one and
Oh, nice.
are enjoying
Okay.
that one too.
Love that.
Um Cool. Last call here for questions. Anybody in chat? Questions for Brandon? Questions about the new training content that he's the instructor on? I'm giving you a last chance now. Ask your questions. Um, Otherwise, like I'll start with the thank yous real quick. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much for your work with us on the new
yeah,
content that's come out. Thank you for
yeah.
joining
So
us
cool.
today, for
Yeah.
sharing your story. Sharing, I guess, the highs, the lows,
Hmm.
and just being real, because I think we all need to be doing a lot more of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say like thank you everybody who is like here right now and just in general for like having me involved with the whole process. It's like I feel like it's like it's been so long since we started everything, and it's so
Yes.
cool to see the final product. So I've been very happy to share the knowledge that I have, and then also being a part of it because that's one of the biggest things of I would say about my career that I love doing is like sharing the knowledge of just content creation that I've learned from, because I want people to learn from my mistakes and like better their content from my mistakes and doing better than me. That's one of my
Yeah.
things I love. Because I definitely have made a lot of mistakes. Like I haven't been on the path of perfect. No one's perfect on the platform, but it's been really cool to see people being invested in this, and the content and subject matters are very important, and they will like really honestly will help you out in life. Like you were saying, is that like a lot of these lessons will be things you can use outside of just streaming, but
Hmm.
it will be very helpful to learn this stuff now, and then like once you get into it, like you could really dive into your content to make it so good so people like know when to be there. Because I know like going through those videos and filming them, there are some really good ones, especially towards the end, that I was super happy to talk about. So I can't wait for y'all to see those.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, if you have,
Yeah.
then
Just in
you know
case.
what I'm talking
I think there are a
about.
couple of people who are already on that new subscription tier and
Oh,
everything.
okay,
So
cool, cool.
yeah. For those of you who want to learn more about that or see what's in the content, head to our website. Website's in the bottom of the overlay here. There's a pricing page. There's the features page. Have a look around. If you have any questions about that, you can DM GGWP anywhere. If you ask Brandon questions, he'll probably need to email me, and then I'll answer those
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
But probably go straight to us first if you have
Yeah, yeah,
questions.
whatever works.
uh, I don't think anybody has any questions, but we did have a really cute message here from Fox Silverhand.
Oh,
He
okay.
or she says, "Just wanted to say thank you. Found Brandon via Twitter and love your
Oh,
content and attitude."
thank you.
I think so far, like over like the chat, people have just um been talking about like your outlook and your approach is inspiring or motivating. They didn't say those words
Thanks.
exactly, but people have been pointing that out
Yeah,
from our
yeah,
conversation. So thank you for giving that vibe to people, because I get,
yeah.
again, like um everyone who's in here may not have been doing this for as long, and
Mhm.
you could be their motivation today to be like, today's
Yeah,
not a great day,
yeah,
but I saw
that's
Brandon.
why. Yeah, exactly. Like every day is not gonna be easy to get through. Like there's gonna be some days that are just not gonna work out for you. You just need to like kind of understand that. But like I like to tell people, it's okay to not be okay sometimes. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be down, that's totally understandable. But I have an outlook on life that like one, I only live once. So I want to be as positive as possible, and then also give those vibes to people because I get those vibes from people to me. So I just love positivity.
Yeah.
So that's why I did
Now,
this in the first place, because I wanted to share the knowledge with everybody, because I feel like everybody has the potential to like make something really great out of themselves, and especially being in this industry and seeing all the good that like has come out of it, and especially how my life has changed because of it. I feel like everybody should have that opportunity to do that and see it within themselves. So
yeah.
yeah.
Here's another one for your motivation for the next week.
Yeah.
Brandon stuff always encourages me to take care of myself and grind for the future I want. Appreciate him so much.
Ah, thank you. Reaper Babe, thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Just put them into like a little pile. Just check that in.
Yeah, just
Check
I
in with
remember
that
like days
later.
that yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you need that motivation, people just clip the few seconds before this of
There
Brandon
you go.
telling you
That
that
works
we're
too.
we're good. We're all gonna be
Yeah.
good. Awesome. Alrighty, if there aren't any other questions, you can just DM us. Tweet at me.
Yeah.
Tweet at GWP. Otherwise, where can people find you, Brandon? Plug all your
Yes.
things and what you're working on
Yes.
your channels.
So yeah, if you want to check out my channel, I will be streaming next week. I've just been really busy because a lot of stuff's been going on with work. But yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/iamBrandon. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm literally on Twitter all the time. So you'll see me memeing and stuff like that. But I also talk about like content creation stuff all the time on there too. You can follow me there at iamBrandon TV. And then also Instagram at iamBrandon TV, YouTube iamBrandon, TikTok. Well, TikTok is iamBrandon TikTok because I had to
Yeah.
restart my TikTok over because I got locked out of it. So I had to start a new account. But yeah, you can follow me there. And if you enjoy the content, make sure you stop by and say hello. And I hope you enjoyed the courses on GGWP. I know we've been working hard for the last few months on it. So I'm really excited to see what that will do for people because I think it's really great, knowledgeable advice for all of you. So I appreciate y'all checking it out because it means a lot.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank
Alrighty.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.